almost started the day the same way I always do, leaving the Bluetooth on. But I just turned it off, thank goodness. I just turned it off. We're going to start. I'm going to say about to start the day. The day's been started. Oh, shit. Ready to get down the road. I don't know why my earpiece. That sounds better with the I guess the microphone or whatever. But who knows? All right, let's get down the road. Got like 30 or 40 minutes to get there. Um, that, nope, nope, nope. Okay, yeah, I'll be pressing all kind of buttons and can't get the right daggone one. Ain't that crazy? But it is what it is. Welcome to my channel. Trucker that don't know that we are not professional. We just do what we do to survive. We're heading back into Illinois from Missouri. Gotta love it. Kind of like the roads up here. They more better take care of walking behind roads down in the south. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? I was wondering why I'm a few hundred miles behind, but I had to do 34 this weekend. That's where I'm behind. 'Cause I could have had a couple of hundred miles added. So hopefully we can make up for the discrepancy this weekend. I'm gonna talk to driver manager and see if she can give me something back to back because once again I get stuck on Sunday with nothing. I need something after I get that load. I need something back to back because it's bull crap. You know what I mean? I'm not out here just for the heck of it. I'm out here to make some money. I'm out here to get the bills paid or get caught up because we've got some cruises coming up. Uh, Margaritaville at Sea February. Um, actually, we got three this next next year, which is crazy for us. But I'm gonna get we're gonna get these bills caught up so I can blow some money. Got Margaritaville at Sea. Uh, we've got Alaska in between June and July, and then we've got um, Virgin Voyages in November of next year. So this is gonna be a year for cruising. And and the thing is, I'm not getting any younger. You're not getting any younger. Putting that stuff off, you know, putting stuff off tomorrow ain't promised. I hate to be the bearer, but tomorrow is not promised. So you might as well enjoy yourself while you can. Might as well enjoy yourself while you can. You know what I mean? Um, Dang on, let me turn this down. That would overheat the phone. that would overheat the phone, and then we had some problems. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Oh, shoot. I don't know if you can see it on the screen. There's like some flashing lights. Well, that's the wind turbines. Certain states they have that. It's crazy what you see when you're on the road. You know what I mean? It's an experience. I've forgotten it because I've been regional for a while. I've forgotten what goes on out here. It's a wonder, and I'm back to my old ways. It's like, prime example. I parked at a rest area last night. When I park the rest area, I always go all the way to the end where there's like a median or like a curve. So I don't have to worry about because a lot of truckers will park closer, to the front, and you can't make that turn without tearing their truck up. So, hey, good morning, Mike. So I try to park all the way at the end. It's stuff that I've learned over the years. So, because, you have to wake up and say, hey, well, I need to back up, back out, and so forth and so on. And I try to, find ways around it, or will someone be parked in front of me? Because a lot of guys will try to park along the edge, and and then you still, once again, trying to get out, and they get mad when you wake them up. You're not supposed to park there. It's not a parking spot. And a lot of guys, he's scared of us black folks. He's scared. There was a guy parked behind me, and he was backing up, and I was leaving. I just woke up, didn't preach, I was leaving, and I said, "Hey, man, I'm waving to him. He's still backing up, like not like I'm some beggar." And I finally came and said, "Hey, I'm leaving. You can get in my spot." Oh, you try to do the right thing. You try, to show that you're a better person out here. But there's some crazy people out here. You got to be prepared. People think truck drivers got all this money. No, we don't. And they've got every excuse to get that money out of you. I remember one time, guys, oh, I'm trying to start a church, whatever you can do. What are you in the truck stop for begging? You need to be like Marvin Wines and tell people to get in certain spots on the line. If you give $1,200, I'm not giving the church $1,200. If I had $1,200 to freely give, I would give it to a homeless. No, I mean, like, yeah, you can give him that because he probably used it for crack. But I go buy him some food. I give him some food to a guy on the side of the road. If you don't want those food, then you didn't want this money. I remember somebody was begging me on the Long Island Railroad. I was, years ago. And all I had was a pocket full of change. Put all my change in their hand. They said, "What the fuck is this?" What do you mean? What the F is this? You asked me for money. That's what I gave you. You got to watch what you're doing. But, okay. I see cruisers in there. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. And I forgot what's his name. Longstream. He always hated. I always would say this, but it's so true about the manners of children that come on these cruise ships. I don't understand. First of all, I don't understand that during the school year, the beginning of the school year, the middle of the school year, anytime during the school year, these boats are packed with kids. Now, I understand, winter vacation, Thanksgiving vacation, summer vacation, spring, all those I understand. But all through the year, there's kids. There's an abundance of kids. And these ain't European kids. These are American kids running around acting like knuckleheads on the boat. Now, I understand. You're pulling them out of school. That's one first problem I got. Second problem I got, it was only one, I think it was the last cruise we were on. We were on an old boat. And that was one of the only time I never had problems. These kids were well managed. You didn't hear running around acting like a knucklehead and acting a fool. That I understand. But see, I was brought up in a different age. I was brought up that you had to think, if I'm going to do something stupid, one, am I going to get caught? Two, the ramifications, the consequences of my actions were going to be felt. And three, children are seen, but they ain't heard. You don't speak up and throw a fit and drop to the ground and act like a knucklehead and act like a fool. I remember when during my first marriage, my sister-in-law brought a kid. They came down, but I'm always helping people, and her daughter just fell out in the store because she couldn't get some. And I literally said, "What the f? Bring her AZZ over here. I'll fix that real quick." See, we so scared because we scared that our kids will call the cops on us and call DC, Child Protective Services. Go ahead and call Child Protective Services. I'll whoop your ass to the game. That's the problem nowadays. These kids are acting up. Well, it's child abuse. Yeah, probably. But you gonna stop acting like a fool, especially on a vacation. I remember when we were on the Mardi Gras. We were on the freaking Mardi Gras, and I'm on I'm walking with my wife, and I'm trying to be romantic. I'm a dude. I'm holding her hand. We're walking along the starlights, and we're looking at the ocean and the moon trickling off the water, trying to have a pleasant time. And all you hear is kids running around, throwing their hands up in the air and acting like they ain't got no sense. And this ain't teenagers; these are kids. These are preteens. These are kids. Where's your mother? Where's your father? Nowhere to be seen. These are kids. We were walking by all of the closing nooks, stuff near over there near the roller coaster, all filled with teenagers. But they were quiet. They didn't say nothing, so I can't get mad at that. Another time, I'm in the solarium, the adults only on Mardi Gras. And this teenager looked like 15, 16. He gave me the stink eye. I'm an adult, so I looked at him and said, "Hey, man, this ain't the place for you." And he gave me the, "Who the hell are you looking at?" And I said, "Nah, player, get the hell out of here. I don't want to be around none of you knucklehead kids and ain't got no home training, get your ass up out of here before I call security. And he left. And it was the brother, nah, I'm not the one. I remember I did a video. See, there's no training. Nobody reads the signs. Adults only. We coming in the port. Father over there with a little 12-year-old kid. I did a short video. See, this is you. You ain't even reading the instructions. Oh, I'm the parent, so I can let him come up in here. We trying to get away from y'all. They got spots in the same thing. Disney. You can see on the Disney video, there's so many adult sections. You gotta have adult sections because you're trying to get away from these folks. Nothing against kids. I'm a parent, but my kid is in his 30s. I'm not trying to be mean or cruel, but I'm just trying to say, look, this is how it is. But you finding out that these kids don't know or don't have no home training. They're, on one of the Royal Caribbean ships, older white couple. Y'all thinking because y'all old and white, y'all can just mouth off. Teenagers jumping up and down in an elevator. You can't be able to grab her by her mouth. Shut the F up. We need to get up out of here and survive. Teenagers. And as soon as they got off that boat, one of the dumb behind kids, they cold cocked the man, knocked him the heck out. See, I'd have had to talk with him, Rob. Look, we can go for whatever you want. Well, if we all gonna get kicked off this boat, but I'm gonna have to school y'all. I ain't the one. So please stop what you're doing. Not even thinking that I can do whatever I want on this cruise ship. No. This is a $1 billion industry. These companies ain't the one to be played with. Carnival's finally had enough. But y'all acting like y'all ain't got no home training. I remembered on the Mardi Gras, the back top area at night, you might as well just gave that up. The teenagers had that on lockdown. Plates in the hallway, plates on the stairs, and plates on the stairs in the open. Now, I'm talking about in the regular stairs near the elevator. No home training. If you gonna bring the plates out, take them up to the daggone guy, take them back to where you were sitting and eating. Y'all acting the fool and running around and thinking you're going to see this. You got to find too many videos where these young YNs get checked by, look, back in the day, the brothers do hands. And if you listen to what I'm saying here, the OGs, especially if they've been in prison, they know how to throw hands. They know they've had so much time behind bars. They had nothing, and it's a jungle. They know how to defend themselves with weapons and without weapons. They're not the ones to be played with. And if you on a cruise ship, and here's the problem, and I've said it a million times. You've got parents that should have never been parents. Because even though I'm having problems with my son right now, he's still my son. Even though he don't think I love him, but I had to let him go. because I'm not gonna allow that part what he's doing in my life right now. But I took him on the cruise ship. I was still watching for him. So you think, as someone in his 30s, a father keeping an eye on his kid, you didn't think if I brought him on a cruise ship when he was a little boy, I would still be right there? I watched on one ship another kid drop kick the kid. I mean, literally, like a kung fu movie in the air, kick the kid. That's some crazy behind. What are you doing? Oh no, Billy, it's timeout. What do you mean a timeout? I'm grabbing you up by your neck. You lost. First of all, we'd have had the conversation. Look here. Look here. And see a lot of black folks parents. Because you see in these videos, a lot of them ain't black. Sorry to say it like it is. We quick to say black folks be starting fighting. Black parents be even now, some you know, we would have had that conversation. If I find out you did anything stupid on this book, you better act like you have some sense. I done spent this amount of money. I done spent all this money. All I better find out is that you overeat. That you go around doing, you better keep you, and we're going to meet here. Better yet, y'all need to come with us. And and don't leave this room. You better be in the bed. If I find out we're going to have a problem, when mommy and daddy said we're going to have a problem, or daddy said, I bet not have to come deal with you. You knew better. But they don't do that nowadays. They do the dumbest stuff. You put your life on the line, and I'm going to talk about the thumbnail that I put up. That's a picture of teenagers. I don't know. It's on a Royal Caribbean ship. I'm not a news reporter. I can't get the name of the ship. It's on a Royal Caribbean ship. They hanging, balancing on the balcony. I don't know how many decks up there are. I don't know. A lot of times you balancing, there's nothing below you. Or there might be 3 or 4 decks down. That's where you can land. But you hanging and balancing. You think, oh, we just fall in the water. You can still get yourself highly hurt and almost killed if you fall off, if you jump off or fall off a ship. You can almost get yourself killed. Because once you hit that water, it ain't like, whoop. No, it's like hitting concrete. They teach us in the Navy, if you jumping off the water, you got to stand straight with your sneakers on and put your hand around your neck to hold so you don't snap your neck. Because 2 or 3 flights, that's 2 or 3 decks. That's 1 or 2 stories on a house. That's a long fall. But these kids do the dumbest stuff. We were on Utopia. You so stupid. You're on a balcony inside of the boardwalk. There was some kids throwing food from a balcony. You didn't think they could figure out what room you in, stupid? Throwing food at old people. Hit a 70-year-old woman with a pizza and a bottle of water. Your parents spend all this money. You think, oh, the kids will be kids. No, you get kicked off for life. They don't want you coming back, and now they'll put you off in the next. These companies have had enough. They'll put you off at the next stop. What you gonna tell Dad? Oh, I'm sorry. You lost your natural born mind. is wrong with parenting nowadays? What is wrong with kids nowadays? Where there's no repercussions, no nothing, that you can sit here and act the fool. And then, what was that? It turns out that on that Disney cruise ship, they take a picture, have my kid balancing on, take a kid and balancing on an open window. Have you lost your freaking mind? The kid loses balance, falls out, and the father got to jump in there after. Oh, he's a hero. No, you stupid. You shouldn't have been taking a picture at an open window and your child bouncing. Who the F does that, you fucking idiot? Sorry. I lost my temper. But they're so stupid. How do you... I understand. Look, there's no instruction booklet when it comes to having a kid and being a parent. But there is some common sense to the situation at hand. Look, have some sense. And it's a shame that your kid is so... we the last ship we was on, we was in Cozumel. I don't know if it was Punta Cana or somewhere. I seen this lady had a kid, and the kid had a harness on, like you walking a dog, like you walking a dog. Had a freaking harness on. I mean, tell me in the comments, am I wrong here? Is it so bad that you didn't know how to use contraceptive? Now you hate your kid, you hate your life, and then you finally get on the cruise ship. You run one way, and the kid run the other way. Oh well, we'll find them at the end. We'll find them at the end of the cruise. There are perverts on the on. We've heard many stories where there are perverts they go on vacation, and then you got perverts that work for the cruise line. I'm sorry, but I'm just telling the truth. There was a guy. He had cameras in place. Had freaking cameras. You in the adult section in the steam room, and a child, teenager gets raped by two men in the sauna. Where was the parent? Where was your common sense? The sign says adults only. Oh, don't blame the kid. Sign said adults only. What you doing in there? Have you lost your mind? Did I tell you stay in your place? I know people ain't gonna like what I'm saying, but stay in your place. We on vacation. I got to teach you. If you teach people how to start reading the instruction, they won't grow up thinking that I can overrule everybody. That's why you see on some of these videos, these folks be getting tased because they think, well, I got away with it all my life. I'm going to get away with it now. No, I'm teaching right now. That was one of the arguments I had with my son. You think you ain't black, but first things first, you are a Negro. I'm sorry. You are black first. And And see, that comes with responsibility. That comes with stuff that's going to say, look, don't do this, don't do that. Watch out for this, watch out for that. Even on vacation, you in another country. Oh, I'm American. What does that got to do? You in Punta Cana, you in Costa Rica, you in look. We in Costa Rica got accosted by the police. And me and Charles just cracking up. But I had to get to the airport. He said, look, man, all I got is $200. Guy took the money and let us go. He said, look, y'all gonna be here on the way back because I ain't got no more money after that. Oh, okay, yeah, my friend. And we laughing because we know in America, we got shot by those cops, by the American cops. You gotta watch what you're doing. You gotta watch your actions. And you gotta watch, look, like I said, there's no message, no lesson, but you gotta learn. Look, certain things you just don't do. And that's a promise. You balancing off the balcony on a cruise ship. Common sense, you didn't know that one, they've got alerts, they've got cameras that film everything. Everything. Then this would be funny. Let's put this on Instagram. You got to be the dumbest. You got to be dumb. To do something so stupid. It's so dangerous that you would do something like this. You got to be dumber than a box of freaking rocks. And normally that's why my channel doesn't grow. I tell it, the good, the bad, and the ugly of cruising. And this is something that some of these people do some stupid stuff. They do stupid stuff. And then wonder why and then post it on social media. You see these companies nowadays. These companies, let me tell you what they do. They've got, when you get on the ship, they take a picture of your face, even your kids. They've got facial recognition. So they take that computer image. So these dummies that are bouncing on the balconies and trying to look, well, I'm so cool. I'm an idiot. They're taking pictures. They're getting pictures of that, re-scanning them in the computer and finding out who the heck these people are. They will find you out, and they will ban you for life, and you will never be able to cruise again. You will never be able to enjoy the enjoyment of overeating and relaxing and seeing the ocean because your kids don't know how to act. You didn't have to talk with them. Don't get on this boat acting a fool. Yes, you can have fun, but do not do if I find out. Look, I was never afraid of authorities, but I was afraid of my father. I was afraid of my mother. I was afraid. No. Oh, I'm gonna get a timeout. I was afraid, but I remember one time everybody got caught shoplifting, and I didn't because I didn't shoplift. The cops said, "Why didn't you shoplift?" Are you crazy, sir? My father would kill me, and he thought I was joking. He said, "No. My father would kill me. I like my life." I remember that I walked all the way home, my head held high. Hey, Daddy, what's going on? What's up with you? I did not get caught. I didn't get caught with this. And look, I'm like, you get nothing. and went about my business. Went about my business. See, this is the thing. Like I said, I got 3 cruises coming up. No, I ain't gonna see a whole bunch of kids on the Alaskan cruise. I know I ain't gonna see no kids on the Virgin. That's what I'm going on. But if y'all get a chance, and I know cruising is fun, she be hanging out in there, checking out. Next time y'all go to the Miami port, because it is at the Miami port, look for this sign. There's a sign while you're waiting online to get into the port. It's a sign. It tells you stuff not to bring on a cruise ship. Explosives, electrical surge devices. Not no stuff that shocks you, like a taser. They got don't bring a cattle prod because we don't have no common sense. This is the stuff. If they didn't put it on that sign, that means somebody didn't bring it on there. Somebody brought it on that boat. Someone brought that mess on the boat somewhere. Where in God's name have we become so stupid to do some dumb stuff like that? I can understand you can't afford all that liquor. You bring it. Oh, well, y'all sneaking liquor on board because you're gonna start fights and everything. No, that's a natural born alcoholic sneaking liquor on board because you can't afford what it costs to get lit on the cruise ship. But now that they are focusing on that, I'm not going. No, know what you're talking about. Not even going to admit to even doing it past, present, or future. No, hablo, no hablo. You ain't catching me. You ain't getting me. But hey, it is what it is. I think I'll burn myself out. I'm what happened to curfew? You can come on the cruise ship in the middle of the night, and all them kids are ripping and running around. But now they have a curfew on Carnival. I don't know about the other boats. You got adults that want to adult, but the money, what their money is. That's why these boats is for the family, whatever dynamic or blah blah blah. Because you'll see a kid sitting in a high chair at a bar because mama don't want to leave him in the room. Who was the latchkey kid back in the day? I know if my mother's father said, "Yo, I ordered room service. Don't you leave this room. If I find out you left this cabin, you're dead." Yes, sir. Don't tell me twice. But you got the kid. I can understand the banging on the doors. That's like kid stuff. That I understand. But they would run up and down the hallway banging on doors. I can understand that. But once I'm in the bed, I'm not a light sleeper. I'm knocked the frick out. I hear boom, boom, boom. I'm knocked the heck out. That's the truck driver. Truck drivers be asleep through anything. I told y'all yesterday. I hit there's in these Cascades this emergency button in the back. So if you having a heart attack, you hit that button, the truck goes crazy. honks a horn, lights flash, and I hit that button by mistake. Couldn't figure out how to turn it off. I'm like, I'm waking everybody up. Nobody got up. I'm like, damn, I'd be dead in this bag. Nobody would know. I'd be freaking dead. So I'm like, you know what? I gotta stay healthy. I gotta start eating better. I said, take my blood pressure medicine later on. I've been taking my medicine lately. Fuck this. I gotta take my medicine. You know what I mean? And the reason I'm saying this, guys, you're going on these cruises, you spend thousands and thousands of dollars. You want to have a good time. I know you get frustrated. I know you want to run over them and everything else, but they can't go far down the cruise ship. There's so many dangers on these boats that you got to keep your eye on your child. Train them up in the way that they go, and they won't go that far from it. You know better. You know better. We both know better. But you got kids doing some dumb behind stuff and disrespecting older folks and the OGs. You know why they disrespect? Because they watch your behind do it. Being a Karen and a Ken, yelling at people, thinking you better than somebody. I ain't better than nobody. I just want to be left alone. Leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. This, you know, I realize how slow I'm moving. We got to get by. That's a garbage truck. Wait a minute. Let me stop. I'm going to be getting off the exit soon anyway. So we're just going to deal with it. The flashing strobe lights will get you. But, it's the same thing when you're going to another country. You need to have a conversation. Something goes down. This is what I need you to do. If this happens, this is what I need you to do. Don't do this. Look, think about it. Don't do this. Don't be hanging up. Look, I don't. The last few cruises we've had over inside balconies because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be the idiot that I had too much to drink and fall off the balcony. I've been happy with it, having an inside room. I don't even go out in the balcony at night. I used to. But I'm like, nah. Something happened. Next thing you know, I get no. Act like you got some sense. Or at least try. At least try. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just beyond me. I've been teased about it. And I'm like, look, act like you have some sense. What is wind blowing hard? But this is a windy area, but this ain't like Wyoming. Wyoming, we have 50, 55 mile an hour wind. And boy, that's an experience in itself, you know. But we figured it out. Oh, um, I bought a Virgin Boy. I got a Virgin Voyage credit card. I ain't got no dang on sense. I'm paying off these other cards and put them in the drawer no return. But I'm gonna put my Virgin Voyages on that credit card that I got. But we'll figure it out. But don't get me wrong. I don't hate kids on a cruise ship. And the reason I say that is because I get to cruise ducks, and I hide them. I hide them for children and kids that have manners, that are not loud and walking around with a portable speaker. We don't even do that when you're at home. Turn that thing down, man. But we got kids with the doing this stupid stuff, and you gotta understand something. Regardless of what y'all think, life is so perfect. Black folks still be scaring white people. Norma told me the story. There's a guy, he was working on the job, and the lady in the office got scared. Why? Because the guy was saying some lyrics to Lil Wayne. The lyrics in Lil Wayne's rap song was cussing and screaming. And she got scared. He was listening to the rap song and repeating every word the man said. She got scared in the office, and he's outside doing the work and called the cops. The cops pull up on them, what the heck's going on? The guy takes his earphones off. And do you see what I'm saying? I've had to do it myself. When I was younger, I installed cable. I had bald head, small head, black beard. I looked Arabic. I literally looked freaking Arabic. They wouldn't open the door. And I was the cable installer. I had the man. I used to have to call. I had to have to call the office and say, "Hey, I'm scaring white people again. Could y'all call and tell them that I'm not Arabic?" Oh, and they open up the door. You got to teach your kids some manners so they grow up and be better people. Half the time, all the foolishness that you see out of a person, they came from somewhere. And 9 times out of 10, it's their upbringing. They were taught that mess. They were taught to be stupid. There's no repercussions. When I did something stupid, there was repercussions. I had a sore I had a sore behind. I had a sore butt. I almost passed by the spot. I didn't like having the sore behind. I didn't like having to talk to my father. You remember that? Wait till your father get home. Imagine being on a cruise and doing that. Why can't I'm trying to rationalize it, but there's no rationalization. It's stupid. Parents, teach your kids some sense. You're getting on these cruise ships. Have some standing rules. Don't embarrass don't embarrass me. Don't be doing those stupid stuff. Because if you don't kill yourself, I'm gonna kill you when I find out. Don't be disrespectful to these boats full of 80% of it is elderly people. Don't be disrespectful. If somebody says something, you come find me. I'll handle it. And half the time it's okay, they said that. So what? Shut up and go over there and play. Whatever. Come on, man. Really? But, all right, guys. I done blew off all my steam for this morning's conversation. With these guys, if you're gonna get on these cruise ships, Have a standing list. Don't do this. Don't have them watch these videos. Don't be a dumb. Don't do something. So this some stupid stuff can get you killed. I don't want to see nobody's kid killed. I don't want to see nobody's kid get hurt. Have some daggone sense. You got a little kid. You don't have nightmares about falling off a cruise ship for reason. And you know, half the time y'all think that they got some way to pinpoint you. You fall off that ship, you get yourself killed. Because they might not be able to find you. It'll take a couple of miles for the ship to slow down, then turn around. Now they got to figure out where you at. Don't be a what a statistic. Don't be a statistic. All right, guys. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being part of the live. Thank you for being part of the conversation. And hopefully hopefully they reach somebody with some common sense. I don't know. I got to release some frustration. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Oh, Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel. I don't know. But as always, coming up next, wellness is taking the stage, and after that, cruising is fun anytime. With Eddie Lugo Studios and go live together with my man Jeremy at 9 o'clock and 9:15. Miss T with the T. Y'all have a blessed day, and as always, you don't think nobody loves you, know that I love you and God loves you. Deuces.